Hi and welcome, so my name's Dratlo44, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. So today is going to be, of course, talking about the new LTM mode Flashpoint, my thoughts, some little things, various other parts, and what I actually am thinking about the mode itself. But before we get into the main bulk of the content, of course, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, well, let's get into the main bulk of the video there. Okay, so, basically, talking about Flashpoint then. So, Flashpoint is a new LTM mode. For once, it's actually new. And that is a big thing for me straight away. It's new. It's different. It's actually something that hasn't been, brought out and rinsed and repeated and repeated and repeated about 5 or 6 times, like Armed and Dangerous. And yes, it's a popular mode, but it's nice to see something actually new. And hopefully, moving forwards, this is going to be something that we're going to be seeing a bit more. Maybe not just this mode, but new LTM modes, because I've talked about various concept ideas about new limited time modes and new ideas, and although maybe my ideas won't be used, it would be really nice to see just lots of varying things. But regarding the mode itself, yes, it is quite an interesting one. Okay, you basically, as I'm sure a lot of you will know, you've got these heal arenas or areas where you basically will heal up your health quite quick. Now the deceptive thing is, it is quite quick, however it isn't like super fast, so you're not going to be like restoring it instantly, but you can see the speed, especially with the lifeline drone. It takes a little bit of time, but the shield does come back, and you can actually regenerate this while you're fighting as well if you're using the cover correctly, which is quite nice. So as long as you're using cover and buying that little bit of time, you can actually replenish your health, and you can back off if you're damaged a little bit. Like you level up your Evo shield, you can duck cover, level it up a little bit, and it can win you some fights. Now in this instance, it won me the fight, in others it might not, but it does. Now you still got the respawn beacons, the mobile respawn beacons, so again, makes it a little easier to respawn your teammates, which is obviously quite handy. And you've got definitely things like the always be closing element of the storm, so this means that you're going to be having to move quite a fair bit. And it does make a difference. Now, the third partying on Kings Canyon is still very, very much high. So do expect that, if you finish a fight with one team, expect another team to jump in. And you'll see some clips of that, which I fitted in the footage. I thought that at the end of the day, I don't want to show you just, me killing people, because although that is great, they're also on the other side, there's an amount of times where you get third-partied, and that is something to really, really be aware of. Now, there are some free stuff that they are giving along with this event, which is basically some skins. I'm sure you've seen them. You've got like a Bangalore skin, which is okay, a Hot Rods L-Star skin, if I remember. That isn't bad, but depends on your skins, I suppose, and depends what you've got. And then literally you've got like a Vault skin, which has got some really strange drawings. I'm sure that one of them looks either like Mirage on a bus or at least a Beetle, but let me know what you think of that one, because it's a little bit different. And quite a reasonably decent Hemlock skin, which again for free is pretty cool. So if a lot of you haven't got skins, or you want a different skin for your Hemlock, it is quite a nice one. It's not amazing, it's not mind-blowing, but for free, it's pretty good. So, again, nice side. Now, there are the badges. Now, this is probably where the challenge really fits in. So, like they did with the Armed and Dangerous event last season, Season 5, they've done it again with another badge. Now, if you are trying to push for that badge, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be tough, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, you're going to need a pre-made team. If you're pushing for that badge, you need a pre-made team for the reasons of you need that coordination, and you need not the noobs to run off and go and get themselves killed, which again is highlighted in the video, but I'm sure a lot of you know that anyway, because that's what they always tend to do anyway. But yeah, you've got to deal 10,000 damage. Now that's just going to be gradually updated and done by you just playing. As long as you're doing a fair amount of damage per game, or at least some damage per game, you're going to have that opportunity to do that. Shouldn't be a problem. The kill 100 enemies in a Flashpoint area, again, in theory shouldn't be a problem, but actually that is more difficult than you'd think, because of course, if people, realise that they're losing some health in a Flashpoint arena, they can just back off, hide somewhere, heal up, and you've got to fight them all over again. What a absolute nightmare. So little things like that, so far, not the most complicated part, but a pain. Then comes the really hard part, and I think probably where the real sweats are going to define themselves against your average everyday player. You have got to win 10 games, not 5, like it was before. 5 wasn't bad, and it was possible, it was still hard, but you have got to win 10 games. 10. That is absolutely insane. You'll be really, with a nice flashy badge with like 2 spanners crossed over it, which I'm sure you guys will have seen. Not bad, it's pretty cool. However, at the end of the day, you have got absolutely a kind of a ridiculous thing there, where it's just, wow, and I really, really do think that, 10 wins is quite a tall order, and that is a lot to kind of ask for. But, maybe there will be ones out there that are going to actually achieve that. Now, my thoughts on the actual mode itself, yeah, I really like it. I mean, there's reasons why. So, basically, you kind of, if you're someone who likes a fair amount of action during a game, doesn't want to be, just wandering around, looting, then get killed, this is a really good game mode to play, because you have to kind of push, and you have to kind of keep moving at certain points. Yeah, the storm isn't the fastest ever. However, it's going to make you, keep moving towards that final arena. And you can't push away too far from that arena. Otherwise, you're just going to spend that entire time trying to run for people. And it is going to be an absolute nightmare. So, you kind of are forced to, be a bit tactical with where you land. Keep an eye out on where the ring is. And, of course, that is going to help. I would say that as regards to the game mode itself, I mean, it's an interesting one. It definitely changes the meta slightly, but I do think that there are going to be some very strong legends in this, as always, and some legends that aren't going to be as good. And yes, I did shoot the caustic battle by accident. It was a bit of a miss shot. But yeah, so I mean, basically, with regards to the mode, I think it's really good. I like the aspect of what they're doing. This is a great example, actually, in the background of the noob running off, getting himself knocked down, which is absolutely why you need a pre-made team if you were pushing for the badge or just trying to have good games. With crossplay available, it should be a lot more, possible now, which is really good. Have you tried crossplay? Have you actually played with anyone on a different console yet? Because I haven't, and let me know how it works in the comments below, because if you have, that would be amazing to sort of hear. Is it working? Is it good? The one good thing I will say is that since the sort of like the stream that I did on Tuesday, sort of evening, I noticed that literally there was no bugs. So when me and Viper we started playing Flashpoint last night, we actually had no bugs whatsoever. We didn't get kicked once, we didn't get terminated, which actually happened on my stream. So I was streaming for about 45 minutes, and then I got kicked, and we had to reboot it and restart it up because my game completely crashed. Who would have thought that would happen, eh? New respawn mode and then bugs? Oh well, one of those things. But, I will say that as regards to the mode, it does inform a little bit of tactics if you're looking to win. You do have to gain position. One thing I will say as well, which is what I didn't know until this particular game, is that the ring will completely close, and it will do a ton of damage. And if you're not aware of that final tiny little area that it's going to go to, you've got absolutely no chance, because you're just going to be rinsed by the storm, and it's going to hurt. The storm is going to hurt. It's put seemingly at max level, and it will rinse you in about 2 or 3 ticks. You are going to die if you get touched by that storm, so do not. And that's why it's really important to keep moving, gain position. It seems to be a lot of teams will try and camp out in kind of like the final arena or around that. And I do think that is something that you expect, and of course then you just have to try and pick away and try and just knock down that one team member and then push and try and finish off the team. Especially if you're a team of 3 against 2, you've got a much better chance to kind of finish in that team. Looting quickly is really important in this game mode, and I'd really use it to practice just looting very fast, because you don't need heals and shields and all those things. Of course, you're going to be able to loot as quick as possible. Now, something that some of you will know and maybe some of you won't, of course, is that you can buy Phoenix kits from the Replicator. Costs about 50 crafting metals, so again, just something to kind of point out. If you are looking and pushing for those high placements, those wins, it may be well worth it. If you can all kind of craft one each, you've got just something extra, just in case you're caught outside the zone, in case you get caught, caught even in the zone, but you have to kind of, just, heal up and stuff, then it may well help. Now, you can kind of see here, I mean, this is kind of the end bit. The ring really destroys. I mean, look at this. So my friend Viper didn't realise that the storm was moving that fast. He got caught in a fight. The storm touched him, and look how quick he died. I mean, he was being shot as well, but it closes over the whole final thing, and the surviving team kind of wins. And I think someone with a gold knockdown shield would be probably one of the things. So if you can pick up a gold knockdown shield and not use it beforehand, you're probably going to be the team that wins if it comes to the last ring. Because again, if you get knocked down, you're not going to die straight away, whereas like the rest will. So again, it's something to bear in mind. But it is an interesting game mode. I really like it. I personally find that it's interesting in that you've got to be aggressive, you've got to push. Certain legends are going to be really strong on this, which I did plan to do a kind of a ranking video as just something a little different for this particular mode, Flashpoint. Let me know whether that would be something that you'd like to see. I mean, would you like to see a ranking video for each legend in, you know, kind of like the meta as regards to just Flashpoint? Now, I know that it's only out for 2 weeks and, you know, it's going to be a limited time mode, but I just thought it would be something that might be an interesting thing. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But yeah, I mean, going back to this mode, I think that the third parties are very much a big thing, but that doesn't really change from Kings Canyon anyway, so again, you're not going to be that surprised. I think the big thing is to be prepared for a fight. Be prepared to kind of like have a lot of fights, a lot of things, and kind of encounter, you know, that kind of like that constant battling. And people will hear gunfire and they'll come pushing. You know, I think like legends like Bloodhound are going to be useful. I don't think he's going to be maybe as strong as some of the others, but it is nice to still gather whether there's like 20 legends or other legends. And sometimes, you know, gun choices are really come down to it. Again, use the weapons that you're the most comfortable with, because I can tell you right now, if you don't pick the guns that you're most comfortable with, someone else will have a gun that they're better with and they'll kill you. So it is a big thing there, just to kind of, you know, try and play it smart. Yeah, it is loot dependent. You can still get a gold devotion in the bunker, it seems, or a gold triple take. So again, use the bunkers. They are really handy, and actually the one near artillery is also in the actual heal area as well. So again, a really good advantage to try and push for that. But yeah, I mean, like, that is probably the main bulk of the video in that regard. The actual mode is really good. It's fun. It's different. It offers something a bit more unique for a change. You've got to be quite clever about where you place your team and your legends. It's going to be definitely a game that you know, if you have a full team, you're going to be much better off than, say, a random, because yeah, you might get that odd random who's really good, but you're going to get that random who is unfortunately just not so great, and it's going to let you down. But let me know your thoughts. I mean, what do you guys think of this mode so far? I know that there's been some mixed opinions. Some people are kind of not sure, and some people are kind of deviant. I think the big thing with this is that you've got to play the mode a little bit more, because when I did the stream, one of the things I will say is that the mode seemed pretty, I don't know, I didn't hate it or anything, but I didn't like it as much when I first started playing. I mean, obviously the issues didn't help that, because, you know, when you're getting glitches, who likes glitches? I mean, I don't. So again, a really big thing in that regard. But, you know, when you sort of look at the actual side of things, you know, you realise that you've got to be a bit tactical, so there's positional. You've got to be a bit clever with what you're doing. You've got to push when you need to. You've got to loot fast. You're not going to worry about heals or anything else. And you've got to use a legend, or you should use a legend, that is going to be a benefit to any team. Lifeline, really cool. You know, people like that, just that extra health little bit, very awesome. And, you know, a very strong legend in that regard. But yeah, I mean, like, do let me know what you think below about the mode, whether you're enjoying it, whether you're playing it a bit more. Is it nice to see a new game mode? Because I feel like it's really nice to actually see a brand new game mode within the game, one that you actually are going to be able to kind of play. It lasts for a while, and are you going to be pushing for the badge? I mean, like, is that something that you guys want to actually push for? Do you think it's possible? I mean, 10 wins is quite a tall order, and, you know, what did you think of the new free skins that they're giving you for this particular event? Did you like the new skins, or did you just sort of think that they were a little bit kind of below average? But yeah, I mean, like, that is pretty much the sort of like the sum up in that regard as to the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I do try and post sort of additional content and things like that about these new modes and Apex Legends. It is a game that I love, but of course it's always going to have its downsides as well, which I've always tried to be realistic in kind of saying about. One of them was the errors that drove me crazy on the stream. I'm going to link the streams in the description below, so if you haven't seen them, check them out. One of the first one's just talking about the skins, so if you wanted to sort of hear the opinions, kind of like about the skins and which ones are good to buy, great. The other one is more gameplay footage of actual Flashpoint, but it lasted about 45 minutes because, again, we had some problems, so we gave up. But otherwise, that is it for me. So do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. If you want to drop a like on the video, it'd be very much appreciated. It helps me out and helps my goal towards 100 subscribers, which is what I'm working at towards the end of the year. And of course, if you want to leave any other comments, then please do. Otherwise, that is it from me. You take care. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.